What's going on, everybody? Dogman Dan here. We are in Warframe update 15.1.0 and 15.1.01 are now out. And so here is the overview of everything that's going on with this. They highlighted a fix here with the Windows XP system not being able to play Warframes. Currently they're investigating some more crash reports on that, just as an FYI. Some quick additions here. They added an option to preview Syndicate sigils on your Warframe. They've also finally added the Founder sigils to Warframe, so they're now distributed to your accounts. I have my Grandmaster sigil. It's hard to see it, you got to change the color around, so we'll be playing around with the color so you can see it a little bit better. But I do have it on. I don't exactly know what they do specifically yet, I just know that we've got sigils for them. I added mastery rank test changes for 15 to 16, 16 to 17, and 17 to 18. So I don't know what those new tests are. Obviously I'm already past 17, so the next one will be 17 to 18, so we'll see what that is for me. They also added many Archwing mods into the Archwing Interception Mission reward pool, just as an FYI. And then let's get to the good stuff. Good stuff. Heavy melee weapon changes. So you're going to see me running a couple different ones in the background. I've got a few to play around with. I'm going to play around with the Graham, Galantine, the Magistar, and the Jat Katog. I'm going to have it all mixed up in this video here. So let's go over some of these changes that have happened in terms of heavy melee. So on the Graham, base damage is increased up to 100 from 45. Status chance increase up to 15% from 10. Critical chance increase up to 15% from 7.5%. So there's a nice change in there. Galantine base damage has been increased up to 125 from 45, which is awesome. Galantine is a freaking beast right now. Again. Okay, Cindo Prime base damage increased to a 130 from 85. Critical chance increased to 20% from 5%, so that's a huge change right there. Critical multiplier increase up to 2 from a 1.5. So not a big change in there, but enough to make a nice difference, especially with the critical chance. Jat Katog, so base damage is increased to 130 from 80. Increased ragdoll effects on enemies. Critical chance has been increased as well, up to 15%. There's a nice critical chance on this. It's up from 5% now. Critical multipliers as well moved up to a 2 from a 1.5. Magistar, a little disappointed. I wish they had brought the base damage up a little bit more, but the base damage is up to 80 from 50. They increased the ragdoll effects. Critical chance has been increased nice to a 20% up from 12. You can get a nice 32% critical chance right off of this real easy, which is what I had changed in here. 32? 38% I believe it is. 38%. And the attack speed slightly has been decreased on the Magistar, so just keep that in mind. Fragor base damage has been increased to 115 up from 55, and significantly increased the ragdoll effects on enemies, so we'll get into that a little bit later. And the regular Cindo, the base damage has been increased to 100 from 55. Critical chance has been increased up to 15% from 10%, and the ragdoll effect as well on enemies. Okay, some other changes here. Archwing mod changes. Energy inversion. They have changed it from a max 20% shield capacity to a max 80% shield capacity now. Also, Energy Amplifier has been changed from a max 6% power range to a max 60% power range. So huge difference in those two mods for Archwing, which is awesome. In terms of Stalker and mini-boss changes, we got the Stalker will now activate Lockdown when he spawns, so keep that in mind. You can't go running out of anywhere. Once he spawns in, you're going to be locked into wherever you're at until you kill him. All mini-bosses will now be targeted less frequently by other enemies in a given mission. Okay, better spawning logic and placement for all mini-boss type enemies. And perhaps certain mini-bosses now have a chance to drop a sigil. Something else to note. Pretty cool if that is the case. Okay, so those are the main changes that have gone on in here. In terms of actual changes, they changed the way the melee channeling colors are generated to restore brightness to those with brighter customization selections. optimized some code to address out-of-memory issues on 32-bit systems. So hopefully that's getting better on the 32-bit stuff. They optimized visual effects to save some memory. Altered the Arbiters of Hexus sacrifice to be the prime bow handle. They altered Nova's wormhole ability sound effects to now only be audible when in the proper proximity. Improved controller compatibility with the Syndicate UI. Increased the resolution of the new Loca sigil. They removed some redundant textures and turned sound and texture defaults for better performance and faster loading times. They removed the Update 14 option on login to choose between story/tutorial or instant Lisette mode. So if you haven't logged in since before Update 14, you'll be required to complete the tutorial now. So the option is now gone. Once you log in now, you will have to complete the tutorial if you did not do it before. They added an option to have the minimap expanded or collapsed upon entering a mission. So this option can be selected in the options menu. They increased the health of the Syndicate Eximus teams, so they're going to be a little bit more difficult to kill. They changed the sacrifice item for the 4th title on the Arbiters of Hexus Syndicate. They changed the status chance on dual stat mods to be displayed as a base status chance for clarity. The capture targets less susceptible to knockdown and stagger not locking now. They changed the cinematic intro to the Exterminate Mastery rank test to be cleaner. Okay. Changed the brightness and the visual effects on the Limbo's Rift. Regular attack drones and corrupted drones now play proper explosion sound, not space explosions. And they slightly tweaked some Foundry usability. When choosing to build an item in the Foundry will try to instantly return to the item being built instead of scrolling down the list. So just keep that in mind. That could be a nice thing when you get that done. And they changed the calculations here method for 2 Syndicate augment mods. So Shattering Justice, which is the Sobek mod, has been changed to a max 20% additive to base status chance. And Entropy Burst, which is the super mod, has also been changed to a max plus 20 additive to base status chance. I've got some fixes that have been set up in here as well. I'm not going to go through them this time around. They will also be, everything will be loaded up on my Everything Warframe page on the nogcommunity.com, and also on our forums, as well as obviously the Warframe forums. So if you have any questions or comments about this at all, feel free to leave them below as always. Otherwise, I will catch you guys in the next episodes. We of course have a lot to go through now with all these new heavy melee changes, so just more stuff to go through. Alright, I will catch you guys in the next episode. As I said, thanks for watching, and we will see you soon.